Guys, really can't tell it, but we're at an undisclosed location. It is about 5:45 in the morning. We're crabbing. There's Ricky Wallace.
And I'm crabby.
Yeah, he's crabby. He's always crabby. But I don't know what the temp is, but it's definitely feeling like it's in the 60s. And I've got this Fearbox shirt on, this long sleeve one. And let me tell you, that cooling technology is not working out to my benefit this morning. I'm about to freeze to death. Ricky's got a hoodie on. You never see him in a hoodie. He's got a hoodie on. It's cold, folks. It's a wet cold. Goes right to the bone. But we're gonna put out some, I've got some crab nets right here. And got some tongs, and he's got a little trap set up. And I've got some chicken paws. That's what said on the package, chicken paws, not chicken feet or chicken claws. But I'm gonna put some of them out with my little secret fishing scent that I've put on them, and we're gonna see how we do. Alrighty, folks, here's Ricky. See him a little bit better now. It is a gorgeous day. There's a gentleman out there. He's on a pedal kayak. Nice little area he's at there.
There used to be a big old garfish living over there.
There was two big old garfish right over there at one time, if I remember right. Yeah, not no more.
Them done been it.
Yep, done been it. Alright, folks, we got the crab nets out. He's got some drop traps out. We got fish all on top of the water, and so we caught a pinfish, had the pinfish out. He's been nervous all morning long, and we're just waiting to see what happens, because there's a lot of activity on top of this water, but we can't tell what it is. Still a little bit too dark. Alright, guys, got a crab on the piling, so Ricky's going to try to grab him with the net. Missed him by that much.
I touched him. Maybe he'll go down there and find that bait now.
Yeah.
That thing was that was a huge crab.
Alright, folks, come back when we got some live action. Flash. So guys, this is what you call a net full of bait. And these are menhaden because they're bigger. These are not LYs, these are menhaden. These are the big ones.
Oh, you got a bucket full of LYs that time. This is a little bucket.
Yeah.
Alright, he did it again. Those are big. We're going to another spot here.
See the spots on them?
Yeah.
Those are menhaden.
Those are spotted.
They're shad.
What?
Gizzard shad, that's what they are.
No. Don't even start that crap. Well, folks, we're at a new location and Ricky has already caught one. There we go.
$11 more.
Yeah.
What you gonna eat? We'll put him on the ice.
Okay. Yeah, we're at a new location, folks. So the other location just wasn't doing what we wanted to, so we're trying a new location.
No,
Oops.
he took off. He took off that way.
Okay.
He'll be back.
Windy and dead has been pretty much the moral of today's story so far. Just, I don't know what it is. Today is the day that Hurricane Milton hit central South Florida. Ironically, we're fishing in Milton, Florida unaffected, so our prayers go out to those people affected by it. We've been there before. We know what it's like. I've got family that they're working right now relief, and then with my job, y'all know that I'll be dealing with that later on. So it's one of those things. We will get stronger from it. Well, guys, Ricky got one. It's hard to see. I'll try to zoom in best I can, but he's got one, good size one. There he is.
He was adios and me going out of there.
Alrighty.
It's a good one.
Yes, that is. Very good one right there. Well, folks, we went to a different location. That location was so bad we didn't even stop. And now we're at another location. So we're just going to keep on keeping on. I think at the last location, what'd you catch? What, 6 crabs, Ricky?
Yeah.
So he caught 6 crabs there. I really didn't show that much of it. I was trying to fish and catch some stuff, but you can watch his channel and see the crabs in greater detail. And I'm gonna see if I can't get him some school mullet too. All right, we've been catching crabs. There's another one right now headed towards Ricky's trap. We've caught roughly about a dozen here already. So I've caught some. Ricky just got bit by a crab. Don't let him get away, Ricky. What's funny is that here's the tongs. Need a hand?
Them little ones are meaner than the big ones. It pinch my finger good.
So
Bait.
yep. We've already dumped some and got about 3 or so more in there, so not bad. Live action happens, we'll be back. There's one right here I'll get for him. I don't know if you can see right there, but there is a jellyfish, and in those reeds right there is a little rookery, some birds nesting, mating, whatever. So we've caught, just in short amount of time, by a dozen here, by a dozen. Some of them have size, some of them will be bait, some of them be like gumbo crabs. So, I mean, I've got some right now that are just teeny tiny that, you know, I'm gonna get off my fish, but other than that, I ain't gonna keep him because he'll go right through the net. Water's dropping. Whew. We got another one. Little male. No, actually. No eggs, so.
That's 7.
Yeah. Alright, we're gone, folks. Been a fun-filled day. Nearly 2 dozen crabs. Not bad. Okay, I've got 6 cups of water into a medium-sized pot. I'm going to add about a half tablespoon of tarragon. I'm going to add about a half tablespoon of Lea & Perrins Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning. I'm going to add a half tablespoon of liquid crab boil from Zatarain's. Alright, we're going to bring this to a boil now. I turned it down so that I could film this portion. I'm just going to dump these crabs in. I've only got 4 of them in here. So we're going to make the most out of these 4. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of white distilled vinegar. Alright, that vinegar was about 2.5 minutes in. It's been about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to turn off my heat and let these sit probably for about 15 minutes. Alright, now what I'm going to do is just let these cool off. So these will cool. You'll notice that I took the head parts of them off, and that's just for extra taste and presentation. Alright, next I've got a pot of water. You want a generous amount of water and a generous amount of salt. And I'm going to bring this to a boil so we can cook our elbow macaroni. Alright, we're going to use 2 cups of elbow macaroni. Alright, so what I'm going to do is cut off right here. And this is where you get all the lump crab meat here. So I'm going to just pick all this meat out and put it into a separate container. I'm expecting maybe a 1/4 cup, if I'm lucky, of crab meat. Probably less. Alrighty, so our pasta is cooked and drained. Now it's time for us to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. And I use salted butter. I'm going to add a teaspoon dried tarragon. Now I'm going to add 2 ounces of cream cheese. This right here is a 8-ounce or 2-cup bag of Italian cheese blend. It's shredded. It's just a blend of mozzarella, white cheddar, provolone, and Asiago cheese. I put in 2/3 of the bag and reserved 1/3, and the reason for that is that I'm going to put this on top when I'm done. Alright, in a pan I've got 2 tablespoons of butter going in. Now I'm going to add in roughly about a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Alright, I'm cooking this on a low temp. I just want to keep at the blonde stage. I don't want it getting any color. Some of y'all may be asking, well, why didn't I do this to begin with? Simple fact is, I got confused, I forgot, and so I started making my cheese, or mac and cheese, like I do my cheese grits, and that isn't how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to make your bechamel sauce first. So that's what we're making. It'll be fine. So if you mess up, just like I did, guess what? You can fix it. And so I'm showing you how to fix it. It wasn't intentional, but you know what? Things happen. And so I'm going to use this as a teachable moment. I'll be back when this is ready to add in our next ingredient. I'm going to use just the slightest bit of nutmeg, just a pinch. Doesn't take much, it can overpower things. Now I'm going to add in about a 1/4 cup of milk. This whole milk. Now we're just going to keep adding milk until we get to a white gravy-like consistency. I would start off with just a few tablespoons at a time. I added a little bit too much this time because I had the camera and was talking. But the good thing about it is it will dissolve eventually into it. Just makes it a little harder. If you go slow and use small amounts, it absorbs better and does better. So like I said, just a few tablespoons at a time until you get a white gravy-like consistency. And see how that all went back together again. If you use your back of your spoon, you can kind of punch down any lumps, and by going in small amounts you avoid getting lumps in your bechamel sauce. Before we get too far along in this process, I'm going to add about 1/3 cup of our cooking broth in here. This is just the water I boiled the crabs in. That will bring in those flavors from the crab itself that, you know, we cooked those seasonings with. Alright, this is roughly about 3 tablespoons of meat out of those 4 crabs. Now they were gumbo size, which means that they're smaller. They did have some rust on them. A lot of people will throw away crabs or throw back crabs that look dirty to them. That is your older crab, not ready, it hadn't molted already. And so if you get one that's nice and white and bright, that means it just molted and there won't be much meat in it. So if you're going to throw back a crab, throw back the ones that are real white and got vibrant colors versus ones that look kind of dirty. The dirty ones are ones you want to keep, not the bright shiny ones. Next we're going to add salt and black pepper to taste. This is just a preference, so just make sure you get it seasoned the way you like. I go a little bit heavier on my salt because I know the noodles are going to take it up a lot. And I use McCormick's peppercorn medley grinder, which it has pink peppercorns, black peppercorns, coriander, all that stuff. It just gives a better flavor. Now it's time to add in our noodles. If your mac and cheese seems a little bit too thick, you can always add a little bit of water. Don't be afraid to add water. Get the consistency you want. I'm going to add about another 1/3 cup of the crab boil seasoning, the water from where I boiled the crabs. It just doesn't have that pronounced flavor I'm wanting. Alright, now naturally I'm showing how to do this if you had a bad day crabbing. Alright, we actually had a pretty good day crabbing. I could go as much as I wanted, but I want to do this video show how to make a lot with a little. If you have a good day, just add more crab. It's only going to punch up the flavor of the crab. If you don't have any crab and you want to use artificial crab, use that. You can use canned crab. I've done poor man's lobster before, where I take the fish I catch and boil it in crab boil. That would be good in this. You can do it any number of ways. Salad, shrimp, whatever. So the possibilities are endless with mac and cheese. Now we're going to put this into a buttered casserole dish, and then we'll top it off, and I'll show you that. Okay, got this casserole dish buttered. Now I'm going to add in just a little bit of panko breadcrumbs to give it a little crunch. That's roughly a quarter cup, third a cup. Now I'm going to roll this around to all sides got panko coating. Just like that. Now what we'll do is we'll add in our pasta. There we go. Got our pasta. Now we'll add our reserved cheese. Just going to lightly dust with some grated Parmesan and Romano cheese. Now we're going to do panko on top. Just kind of shake it on. GoPro strikes again. Can't even handle a very simple little cooking segment before the batteries give out. So I'm just going to finish this up and put it in the oven. We're going to cook this for about 15 to 20 minutes until the panko topping turns a golden brown. If you want to facilitate this, you can pour some melted butter on top. I'm not going to do that, but you could if you wished. Alright, now for the last 2.5-3 minutes of the cook, I've turned on the broiler and I'm just going to watch it until it gets nice and toasty. You notice all the oil that's bubbling up from the sides and everything? That's the reason why I didn't put more butter. This is loaded down with butter. I actually moved it up a little bit so it get closer to the burners, and I'm going to take it off now. Now where most people mess up is they cut immediately into their hot dishes. Let this sit a minimum 10 minutes. 15 would be better. Alright, so you'll notice that some of the pasta fell out. That's perfectly fine because I'm going to use that to our betterment with a little trick here for my presentation. And so I'm going to just put that there and that there, and then got this pretty right here. There we go. And this right here is just a different angle to show you what this looks like. I love this. Yeah, so we actually caught 25 crabs, which in the greater scheme of things, we didn't really kill it, but it wasn't that bad. So he had 2 traps, and I'm going to put a picture here so you can see what they are, but it's a drop down trap. The doors drop down both sides, and so you have to be able to see the crabs, but when you pull it up, it just closes the doors. A friend of his in New Jersey, that is what they use, and I had never seen that trap before. He said that he got his on sale. He got 2 for like 20 bucks. They run about $17 off of Amazon. So if you want to get those are some fantastic little cages. And from what I understand, now you need to double check me. Ricky, he has his crab trap permits and everything, but in the state of Florida, as I understand the regulations, that is not considered a crab trap, so you do not need a crab trapping license. Now, I netted, so that's another thing. You can net crabs. That's my understanding, is that you net and you don't need a crab trap permit. So it's only if you have the actual crab trap, you're only allowed 5 of them, and it's got to have a special number for the trap, and then it's got to have your name and address and all that good garbage on it. So that is a regulation I disagree with, but that's what the state has put into place. We really need to redo the Florida fishing game. They're atrocious in my book. Politics aside, I did want to show how to cook these crabs up if you didn't get a bunch of them. So I only took 4, and I did gumbo size. So this was very deliberate on my part. I got the smaller ones. I only took 4, so that's a very low yield. The bigger crab, the bigger yield. Most people think that your crab meat is going to be all in the claw. Actually, the least amount of crab meat is going to be in the claw, and the most amount's going to be in the body, and that's what most people throw away. So right around them legs in the underside is really where all the meat really is. So I picked out the meat from the underside or the body of the crab and also the crab legs. So a lot of people, like I said, they don't do the legs and the body. They throw that away. Another thing most people mess up on is that they want nice, bright, vibrant crabs. Crabs, they are a creature that they shed their exoskeleton. So their skeleton's on the outside. That means that all the meat is inside. There's no bones. There's just that keratin-based shell. And so if you get one that's bright and shiny and vibrant, that means they just molted recently. And you get one that it's kind of dirty looking, kind of all the white areas are kind of reddish brown, where what we call rust on the shell. That means that it's a crab getting ready to molt. It means that it's filled out. And so we call the bright ones skinny crabs, and we call the rusty ones, we'll say they're rusty or they're fat crabs. And so you always want, if you're going to throw back any crabs, I know a lot of people throw back the females. Very important thing to note, females only breed one time, and that's it. You don't know exactly when they're going to breed, and they can mate. Like they could have mated in June and not lay eggs until October. So you never know with females. Now in Florida, you can keep females. If I was crabbing a lot, if I was doing a lot on my YouTube channel and everything, I'd throw back every female I got. In this case, I hadn't been crabbing in years. The amount of females that I took is not going to be representative of any harm to the population. Commercial crabbers, they can't keep any of the females. If I was going every day or every month or whatever, I wouldn't keep the females. I actually kept the females this time because, like I said, what we took will not be enough. I was a little lazy this time, and I took the camera on the tripod. I did have a chesty and all that, but the GoPro is a pain in the tuchus to try to unhook and rehook and all that. And without it being on my chest, a lot of times I would walk away, check a trap, and because I didn't have the camera with me, I couldn't take the footage. So next time I go crabbing, I will have it on a chest mount or a head mount. That I can't do the tripod that because I was covering too much ground. So if you go to Ricky's page, his channel, Ricky will definitely have better footage this time. Next time I'll have the footage. I do, you just saw the footage, but he's got better footage. He's got more of the catching and things of that nature. I was also doing another video that you'll be seeing coming out, and I was using that camera for some of that other video footage. You'll be seeing that video next time. I won't be doing that, so we'll have better footage. But man, look at this. All right, I think it's called quality presentation. Some people call it shock value when you do this, but I love it. There's people that that they do this, and then you have people say they don't like their food looking at them. Those are wrong. Those people are wrong, but you have the right to be wrong. But let's give it a try. Not real strong crab flavor. You get the seasonings. You get some crab flavor. The more crab you add, the better it will be, obviously. I just showing what you could do with a little crab. Crab cakes, if you got more crab, that's a better idea. Another thing you could do is add some shrimp, like salad shrimp. They're real cheap, so you can toss them in there, do kind of like a seafood deal. Some sliced sausages, especially andouille sausage, would be really good. I think I mentioned earlier you can do poor man's lobster, which is where you take like a striped bass or whatever fish you got, fillet it out, de-skin it, cut it up into bite-sized morsels, throw it in crab bowl, and it tastes very similar to crab. Then some poor man's lobster, that would be good. You could put lobster in it, that would be fine. This is just a base that you could do so much with. The panko gives it a nice crunch, gives it some good flavor. I like this. This is something different. Would I do it all the time? No. But yeah, as much crab as you can get put in there, it's going to increase that crab flavor. You can use imitation crab. But I really like that. I'm going to finish this up and then I'll be right back. Well, I hope you like that, this video here. It was real fun. I think more people should go out crabbing. It's a great family event to do. I think that's something people should do. It's something children love to do. Having some tongs helps. So I bought some tongs real cheap off of Amazon. Ricky, he had his tongs. They do use them pinchers, and that does hurt. So make sure that you got the tongs, especially protect children. But it's a fun time, and you can take just a little bit, do a little dish like that, especially if children don't like seafood. This right here is mild enough. A child, they won't be bothered by it. No fishy flavors. It's just a really neat thing. With the presentation, everything like that, you're looking at a plate that could easily sell in a restaurant for 60 bucks. And there's next to nothing in it. You saw how cheap that was. So just by having that little shell on there and that little presentation, you could do 60 bucks a meal in a restaurant. So you could do something that looks very elevated for next to nothing. A day full of fun. Do that. Fancy little presentation. Have you a glass of white wine, you're good to go. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And with that, like I said, I hope you enjoyed that video. Up here's a video that you might want to see. Over here is Ricky's channel, so I would recommend Ricky. And then over here is my channel, and over there is a video that you might like based off of your view and preferences. And the reason why I say that is this video is over with. Bye.